And we are live. Good evening and good night, everybody. My name is Marvin Smith, founder and CEO of Nexus Cloud Inc. And by the title of this live, I'm just going to go in about AI, ChatGPT, how it works. Well, not how it works, but pretty much just give you an idea of overall AI in general, because I've seen this all over YouTube, and it's really common. Everybody would just talk about the latest trends, but they'll never give you an idea. They'll never give you a little bit more detail about what makes AI so popular, what is it going to be used for, and what's going to come from AI. So everybody just does the basic, hey, let's boost the algorithm, let's get more likes, more likes, more views. But nobody ever gives you, well, I don't want to say nobody, but very few gives you details. And besides, hey, what's going on, Peter? And besides, I knew about OpenAI and ChatGPT long time ago, before it even became popular. So I'm gonna go to my channel. I'm gonna show you a video of the CEO of, I guess, well, is I guess he's the founder, but I guess the founder of OpenAI and Microsoft. And I posted that video, I think sometime last year or this year. So let me just queue up the video. I'm going to show you it. Let's minimize that, and let's just share this video. Because Microsoft has been working with OpenAI for years now. I've heard some stuff going on with it, but I didn't know the exact detail. So hold on. And I posted that video specifically for a reason. Where is it? Where's that section? Because I knew this was going to come down a pike, where if Microsoft is back in something this big, it had to be good. So, okay, so let's go here. All right, let's share the screen. Again, so this is from my channel. This is Microsoft Ignite 2022, which was last year. And this is one of the founders of OpenAI.
Now, Codex is writing the tournament's second and final rounds.
So let's go back.
Codex then checks if this result proves or disproves the initial problem. So we very
rapid response marketing campaign
using advanced AI technology to deliver deep knowledge.
No, that's so right, Sam. And even
so let's start here.
The OpenAI co-founder and CEO, Sam Altman, with me here today. Hi, Sam.
Hey, Satya.
Welcome.
Thank you.
You know, Sam, we've been working together now for a year or over a year. In fact, I think last time at Ignite is when we first announced Azure OpenAI service right here. And the state-of-the-art models like GPT-3 and Codex coming together with the enterprise capabilities of Azure have been a real game changer. It's exciting to see so many customers from HSBC and PwC to Shell and Wipro are already applying these models in pretty advanced scenarios like content creation, code generation. And I was wondering, Sam, if you could share some of the commercial scenarios that you've seen and are excited by.
Yeah, thanks, Satya. We're really excited about the wide range of uses that customers are finding for these AI systems. Of course, a lot of companies are using our completions endpoint to help create really compelling content, from web copy to recruiting materials. And recently, we've seen more sophisticated applications that combine multiple AI capabilities for some really interesting use cases. For example, a number of Fortune 500 companies are now using a combination of our embeddings and completions endpoint together to drive powerful search features that significantly improve current processes. Compliance teams can use these capabilities to search complicated external standards documentation and then compare them to their own internal policies. And if they find any gaps, they can even use these capabilities to suggest new language. This is a type of application that cuts time spent from manually comparing documents from many weeks down to hours. Customers are also using that combination of embeddings and completions to help employees quickly find and synthesize answers from across a massive internal knowledge base. For example, Morgan Stanley is building an AI assistant that helps their tens of thousands of wealth managers better support their clients. The assistant combines search and content creation so the wealth managers can quickly find and tailor the right information for every client at any moment. It's using advanced AI technology to deliver deep knowledge.
No, that's so right, Sam. And even that thing about content creation and search both being supported by AI is just fantastic. And today, obviously, we are very thrilled to put even more of these breakthroughs in the hands of customers. We're bringing the power of DALL-E to Azure OpenAI service. And we want all our customers to be able to apply DALL-E to any commercial use case, whether that's image editing and generation or content personalization and rapid response marketing campaigns. And in fact, we're already seeing some fantastic use cases. For example, RTL, the largest media company in Germany, will create personalized imagery for audiobook and podcast listeners as part of their subscription service. And Mattel has been exploring using the service to spark creativity across the entire organization, from toy design to marketing. And so with all that, Sam, what's there as next frontier for OpenAI in terms of innovation?
It's an exciting time. We take our role as responsible stewards of this technology very seriously, and I know you do too. So we're very excited to collaborate with Microsoft to set the standards for deployments and use of these powerful AI systems across the industry. A critical part of making sure our systems are as safe and as aligned as possible is learning from real-world use. And so our approach is to iteratively deploy our technology as responsibly as we can, learn at each stage, and feed those learnings back into the system to make it safer. We're also working to make our AI systems smarter, more capable, and more useful. We recently open sourced our automatic speech recognition system, Whisper, which can transcribe complex speech more accurately than ever before, like complicated technical terms and accents.
That's so cool. And I know you're also working on something else that's pretty exciting. You want to share that with us?
Yeah, we're so excited to show you how OpenAI is making our Codex models interactive, bringing them one step closer to becoming a real pair programmer. I'd love to show you a little bit of what we're working on. Our latest Codex prototype can explain and debug its own code, learn from mistakes, and make corrections on the fly. Recently, I saw just how powerful this tool could be in a programmer's workflow when I gave Codex a problem I saw discussed online. Let me show you. So first, we asked Codex to calculate the probability that in a single elimination tournament of 8 players, the second best player finishes in second place. This is assuming that the better players always defeat the weaker players in each round. I'm going to ask Codex to solve the problem using a simulation, and we'll see it take my direction and turn it into code. To start, you can see that Codex suggests and then imports the random library to generate pseudo-random numbers. For its next steps, Codex explains its approach in natural language with detailed comments, creating a list of skills of the 8 players and outlining a tournament bracket. For each step, Codex generates and executes the code, and then evaluates its results before moving forward. Now, Codex is writing the tournament's second and final rounds. Codex then checks if this result proves or disproves the initial problem. In his one random tournament, the player who lost in the final match was not the second most skilled player. To estimate the average probability after many games, Codex invokes its simulated tournament 1 million times in a loop. As Codex reasons through this problem, it's explaining each step in natural language. And here it looks like Codex has a slight bug. It's estimated the probability will come out to 0, very unlikely. Codex reviews its code at each step in all real time, so let's watch what Codex does here. The model correctly notices and identifies the issue. Now let's see how Codex manages to resolve it. Even though Codex identified the issue, it still didn't correctly fix it on the first try. With the new condition, the probability is now calculated at 100% instead of 0, still very likely wrong. So it tries again, and now it's going to get it right. Here we see the power of this new model. It evaluates its code, recognizes its own mistakes, and attempts to fix them. With only the problem statement and my single brief instruction, Codex independently solved the entire problem. I'm excited for how this technology will dramatically improve the productivity of software developers, bringing Codex one step closer to becoming a real pair programmer.
Thank you so much, Sam. It's just a real pleasure to be working with you and your team. I'm really excited about the work we're doing together and all the advances to come.
Thank you, Satya.
Thank you. That was just an awesome.
So, like I was saying, this is from Ignite, Microsoft Ignite last year. I've heard about this, that they've been working with OpenAI for a while now. So, and I posted that video for a few reasons. One, just I needed some content for the channel, but two, uh, OpenAI's founder was there at Ignite, so I knew that the whole AI trend was gonna come. So again, I was the first one to post a video. So yeah, but again, so let's get into it. I'm gonna show another video in a few minutes, but I want I want to explain what I've been seeing from a lot of AI platforms, which I really don't get. I think the interface, a lot of these AI interface needs to be worked on just a little bit. Just my opinion. So when you go to what is this Mid Journey, which is a really, I think is a really good imaging platform, rendering AI image rendering platform. I just don't like the interface, because when it comes to any type of technology, a lot of the pushback comes from everyday users who don't understand either how to use it or just how to interface with it. So what I've been seeing is just a lot of AI platforms with the word, or with the word in prompt, or you should your prompts, that doesn't really roll off the tongue to me. So I did a little research and I wanted to get a little understanding of what the term prompt means. So I'm just gonna do a definite right, read out a definition and just kind of explain it. So prompting is a technique used in behavioral psychology and education to guide a person's behavior towards a desired outcome. It involves providing cues or prompts to elect a specific response or behavior from an individual. So, with that being said, if I'm interfacing, or if I'm prompting the AI to do a specific task, why is it called prompt? It should just be I'm interfacing with it, or I'm asking it to do a specific task. But let's go on. So with doing a little deep dive into that, it it, it appears like there's a whole science when it comes to prompt. There's prompt engineers, there's prompt science. So I'm gonna read another paragraph out of this detailed explanation of what prompt is, or prompt prompt in. The development of prompt science is driven by the need to create and more effective ways of prompting positive behavior and change in a wide range of contexts. By leveraging the latest advance in technology and behavioral science, researchers in the field aim to create personalized, adaptive, and engaging prompting uh, interventions that can help individual achieve their goal and improve their quality of life. Which is okay. I get that statement, but it's just when you're telling the AI, which is in natural language, to do a specific task, or create an image. I think that wording just needs to be changed just a little, just in a way where the everyday user could understand what they're asking the AI to do. Um, so also I'm gonna show you basically why most AI platforms cannot run on a traditional um, CPU server. If we look at it this way, let's ask ourselves, why is it most AI platforms are charging? Because if it's an AI, how do you well, the question I'm trying to ask is, how is it going to make money, and how is it going to benefit the user? But looking at it from a standpoint of technology, the AI itself, or the model that's been trained, is just so massive and so data intensive that it can't really run on a traditional CPU server. It needs the that added power of a GPU server. So I just found this video. These guys, they used to be on a TV show called Mythbusters. It's not the best video, but it gives a detail. It gives a nice example of why it's needed, why any AI platform needs to run on a GPU server. GPU servers were designed to compute or crunch massive data, and just takes the overall load off the regular server itself. So let me share my screen again. So let's play this.
All right, I introduced to you Leonardo, and he's going to paint a picture for you guys in the way that a CPU might do it, as a series of discrete actions performed sequentially, one after the other. In 3, 2.
So what he's
1.
saying is that traditional CPU servers um, are not designed for overall data crunching. It's basically one specific task of after the other. Like when you're on your laptop, you or your desktop, you click on the icon. That code is sending a command to the CPU to execute execute this software to be launched. So, but with a regular GPU, we're gonna see why it doesn't think that way, or it doesn't perform that way.
Let me speed it up.
So he's just basically showing that even if you speed up a CPU, you overclock it, it's still basically doing the same thing. It's performing a specific repetitive task over and over again.
Ladies and gentlemen,
It may get the task done, but it's not doing it fast enough to crunch the data.
Leonardo 2.0.
when we hit this trigger on this thing, 2,100 gallons of air goes through these accumulators, out these valves, into all 1,100 of these tubes, into these tubes in which the bottom of is a paintball. Each of those paintballs will fly across 7 feet of space and in 80 milliseconds reach its target. Hopefully, when it's all said and done, it's going to paint the Mona Lisa.
GPU painting demonstration.
Yep.
In 10,
9,
9,
8,
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Ladies and gentlemen, science class is now over. Thank you.
I guess what they're trying to explain with this device on stage is that no matter the information, the size of the information, and the quantity, size and quantity, same thing. No matter the information itself, a GPU server can always crunch the data and and provide greater detail on what you're trying to do. So let's see that again.
Two, one.
Ladies and gentlemen, science class is now over. Thank you.
So, okay, stop sharing. So, I've showed you that to just give you a little understanding of why most AI platforms need to run on a GPU server. It's just because that there's just so much data that's being crunched on the back end that there's no way just a regular CPU or GPU could ever, uh, just a regular CPU, sorry, had have the ability to crunch that type of data, because you're sending so much information from, if you go into Chat GPT and you ask Chat GPT whatever, just a simple question, and you ask it to give you detail. Let's look at it from this point of view. You have the user interface, you're typing up a specific question. Chat GPT needs to go to, I guess, its learning model to understand what you're trying to say, then give you the output of that request. So it has to go through its large database or whatever they use for their learning model. So it has to go through that, find the reference information that you're talking about, and then display that to you in a way that you could understand. So you can't do that on a regular CPU. You need to do that on a GPU to give you that information in real time and fast enough for you to be happy with it. Um all right, so we went through why it needs to run on a GPU. I'm going to show you some prices from, I believe this is Google, but ChatGPT is running on Microsoft's Azure and data center. So I'm going to show you what the average cost of a GPU to run a GPU over a year looks like. So we're going to show you the monthly pricing. All right. So this is coming from Google Cloud. I'm going to show you what Microsoft looks like in a second. So we're looking at what it costs to run just a very basic GPU from Google. If we switch it to monthly and then we have hourly. So hourly, you're talking about $3.95 per hour for just a very basic. I believe this is a Nvidia A100. Let me see if I could get the full specs on that. So this is what it would look like. I'll share my screen again. So this is what the GPU would look like in a server, in a data center. And share that back again. New presentation. Okay. Stop sharing. So, yep. So Nvidia A100, 80 gig hard drive. You have the option for one GPU, two GPU, four GPUs, 32 gig HBM2, um, eight GPUs. So this is what it would cost. This is probably their very lowest um, low spec GPU that's available everywhere. So you're talking, this is in Ohio, $3.93 per hour. So if we switched it to monthly pricing, we're talking about plus tax, you're looking at $1,000 a month just for that GPU server. So when I heard that ChatGPT was going to start, offering different tiers, it had to be inevitable because it costs so much to run those GPUs. And depending on the GPU servers that they're running on, you got to factor in um, data storage, availability zone, and just just overall cost. So when I heard that that they're going to start charging a price, I was just like, they should have just did that in the first place. Um, but again, there's trade ups, there's toss ups to everything. So when it first came out, it was completely free because they wanted to give it more information. They wanted to train it a little bit more. So they had to open it up to users. Now, in order to pay back investors and definitely take care of cost, they had to start charging. So it's everything has a price. So if we go down to the list, this is a Nvidia A100, still within the lower tiers of a GPU, but again, you're getting just a little bit more speed, more power, and the cost to run this per hour is $2.93, $2.934. They're charging per, I guess, per GPU process. If I'm getting that correctly, 1 year commitment. So it looks like if you do 1 year commitment, you get a little discount on the price. But if we switch it back to monthly, okay, price does go down. So that's not bad coming from Google. Nice trade up. So it looks like as you go up to the bigger tiers, the the faster, stronger GPU processors, GPUs, servers, your price does go down. So it's not bad. I was speaking to one developer that has his AI platform, and he's on Amazon. So when he was testing, he basically, for the lowest server, I don't want to say lowest, but the cheapest server he could find was basically 1,000 a month. Um, so yeah, GPU servers are expensive, man. I don't see prices on any GPU servers from anybody like Microsoft or anything going down anytime soon because it's pretty expensive and it takes a lot to run a GPU server. So I'm gonna see what Microsoft is charging for theirs. Hold on one second. All right, so let's bring this over. And let's share that. Now, Microsoft prices are a little bit different. So this is what they're charging for their. Is this a GPU server? So they call it machine learning pricing, but it pretty much it is what it is. It's every company goes by. They have their own branding for different things. So this is, I know for a fact, these are their GPU servers. So if we're saying the basic instant, we're talking 8 gigs of memory, 2 GPUs, depending on if you want a Linux VM or that's Linux. So we're talking about just under $1 per hour. Now, those are some good savings, but again, you're think about it. You're running those GPUs 24/7, 365 in order to get, whatever it is you're doing on the GPU server to get decent uses out of them. You're basically pricing is pretty good, but you're gonna have to run that GPU server from Monday to Friday or Sunday to Saturday, and those costs does add up. So, and see what category. All right, GPUs. So I'm assuming that's an Nvidia V2 series instance. Okay, price did go up. You're talking about $2.70 per hour. Depends on the biggest model that you want. You want more power if you're doing something like a ChatGPT. I would probably say they're running on a Nvidia series, maybe the best of the best. So you're talking about maybe $22.32 per hour, give or take. And then so they probably paid for the month, or they're probably paying monthly. And so you're looking at least anywhere between $16,000 per month, 16,000 or 19,000 per month, give or take. They're probably getting some kind of savings from Microsoft because it's running on their platform, which is okay. It's understandable, but again, those costs do add up, and then you have to figure out there's redundancies in place, backup. So yeah, when they started charging, I was basically saying that that's gonna happen regardless because it's super expensive to run GPU servers. All right, so let's get back to it. Now, when it comes to AI, there's different types of AI. There's machine learning, um, there's just general artificial intelligence, AGI. So again, all of them have to run on a specific server. So if we look at the aspect of an EDR solution, the EDR solution that I use with my clients, it's called Viper. It has a machine learning aspect. I just can't remember what they call it at this point at this time. But if you look at it like this, you're in an environment, 1,200 machines. You gotta watch over those 1,200 machines in real time. There has to be a machine learning aspect to it because if you watch one of my other videos of why EDR solutions needed, it's going to perform a specific task when it detects an intrusion. So where does the machine learning come in? again, it has to watch over all 1,200 machines, learn exactly what it's doing. If it detects a unnormal behavior on one of those machines, then it's going to react in real time. So if we go back to the data breach from the New York Bar Association, those hackers were in their network for months, and whatever solution that they had didn't detect it, didn't detect them, didn't detect the intrusion, and it didn't detect the amount of data that was being pulled out. I'm going to do a follow-up episode on that because I believe the threat actors did release more data. So again, it's 1.8 terabyte of data, so there has to be more that they're going to upload. So I'm going to go into the different types of AI. So the first one is called reactive machines. So reactive machines are the most basic form of AI and are designed to respond to certain inputs. So this is probably what they call as machine learning, without any memory or any ability to use past experience. They do not have the ability to learn from past experience or to make predictions. Example: a reactive machine includes chess playing computer, chatbot. Yeah, most chatbots are basically reactive. They wait for you to give them an input in order for them to give you a specific output. Gaming and simulation, automated customer service, image recognition, and analysis. So that's to be expected because most of those things are basically they're not they're not reactive. It's just they wait for you to give them a response in order. They wait for you to give them a prompt in order for the AI to kick in. So number two, limited memory. Some people say, before I go into that, some people say that there are 7 forms of AI, but when I looked up those 7 forms, majority of them it didn't really make sense to me. So these are the 4 that actually make sense. So two is limited memory. Limited memory AI systems are designed to build upon reactive machines by adding the ability to store past experiences and use the most to make future decisions. These systems can learn from past experience and use them to improve their performance in the future. Example of limited memory AI systems include speech recognition, recommendation system, and self-driving system. So that's interesting. Applications, personalized product recommendations, autonomous vehicles, voice-enabled assistants like Alexa. So limited memory. So okay, I could understand that. And number three, theory of the mind. Theory of the mind AI systems are designed to understand human emotion, beliefs, and intentions. These systems can simulate human like emotion and understand the context of a given situation. They use this to understand, to make decisions and communicate with humans in a more natural way. Example of theory of the mind AI includes virtual personal assistant and chatbots. I haven't really seen too many of these theory of the mind AI. I don't think there's any major products on the market that has a theory of the mind AI built in, but hey, it's definitely coming. So let's see. 4, self-aware AI is the most advanced type of AI, and it has the ability not only to understand human emotion and intentions, but also develop a sense of self-awareness. These systems can understand their own existence and have the ability to make decisions about their own actions. Example of self-aware AI includes robots, autonomous agents, specific application, robotics, autonomous scientific research, autonomous decision making in complex environments. Overall, AI has many different application and is being used in wide variety range in industry and settings. Yeah, um so when it comes to AI, I believe that we're still in the beginning stage, of course. But again, it's here. Now, when it comes to certain aspects of AI, it's like we you can't confuse AI with basic um automation. Automations are just triggers and tasks that you set up on the back end. Microsoft has, I believe, Power Flow, which is basically you just set up triggers on the back end, and once one of those triggers get triggered, then it sets off a sequence of different things to be done. Um, like with Alexa, you're basically Alexa is waiting for you to ask it something. It doesn't it may detect that you're in a room, but it's not going to do anything until you ask it to do something. So it may set up a certain sequence or a certain task, but it has to wait for that trigger to take effect in order to do something. Um, let's see. Let me see. I took some links of the different. I copied a link of the different type of GPU servers that are out there. Um, some of them are really good. I've seen majority of them in real life before, but these are basically what's being and Nvidia is basically the king right now when it comes to GPU servers. So just showing you what so most of these will be in data centers, um, depending on the model configuration. And then you have to think about cooling. So I know most servers nowadays are being water cooled. I think it's basically the trend. Well, it's not a trend. I'll maybe probably do a video on that. So they're taking a lot of direction from the custom PC market, where they're starting to add water blocks to the GPU servers and the servers themselves. I believe this is a what is this, a U1 design or U2 GPU server form. So yeah, so this is what it is, and these are some of the GPU servers that are currently in a few data centers. So okay, so let's go back to it. Um, we talked about the different types of AI. So what everybody is saying is, will AI take jobs? Technology in general is going to take people's jobs, but what I think people need to start thinking about is first and foremost, before we even get into that, is we're going to see like a massive, again, I'm predicting this somewhere down the line, we're going to see a massive, um how can I say this, skill labor deficit, because one of the biggest problems in this country that I'm seeing is that training people is going to be one of the most difficult things to do, or retraining people. What's going on, Pete? You're jumping on um, YouTube and LinkedIn. But like I was saying, one of the biggest things we're going to see is just a massive deficit of skilled labor, because one of the biggest problems that's going to happen in this country, and I'm just putting it out there, is that when it comes to retraining people, that's going to be a big thing, because not everybody is going to want to learn a new skill set. Not everybody is want to learn a new trade. So if we look at it like this, yes, AI is going to take jobs, but again, it depends on what type of job it's going to take. You could basically train a secretary, but if you have a virtual assistant, like what we just seen with the first video from um, Microsoft Ignite last year, certain companies are actually creating virtual assistants for their asset managers. Again, you have somebody that's going to work 24/7. You don't have to feed it. You don't have to educate it. All you have to do is just upgrade a line of code, and that virtual assistant is going to always be running. Now, I've heard this saying before, is basically you could either fix the robot or be replaced by the robot. So it's up to you what what you feel that you need to do, because when you look at the cloud, most companies right now have their servers on-prem. So that means you have to pay somebody to be available. You have to have a senior engineer, and then you have to pay somebody to be available to be on site if a server goes down. Now, in my opinion, it's like, why would you commit salary to have somebody on standby just to push a button to restart a server? To me, that's a waste of resources. So why not bring your server and resources into the cloud, into a data center that's fully manned 24/7, uptime on any tier 5 data centers is basically, what is it, triple nine. Most tier 5 data centers have redundancies on top of redundancies. If the power goes out, um if the internet goes out, then you could just move services to the next available data center. And most data centers are basically the size of um probably 5 football fields. So again, you have redundancies on top of redundancies. Sometimes I just don't understand with certain companies. It costs more money for you to run electricity, cooling, you have security, you have to have somebody on standby, and the APCs themselves. All of those cost additional money that you should be putting towards, other resources, like paying people a decent salary when they live in one of the most expensive cities in the world. Why commit all that capital just to have a on-prem server on standby? Have an on-prem server, you got to cool it, you got to adjust your lease just to have those servers on premise, when you could just move that entire um, IDF or MDF into the cloud, save cost, and put that money into other things. So, so in general, yes, AI is going to take jobs, but it depends on the job that it's going to take. Um, I know for a while I've been playing around with Chat GPT. I've asked it, like, serious major questions, and it's been able to answer it, print out exactly, type up exactly what I wanted to do. You could say it's my personal assistant. I ask it to do something, it's going to do it. If it doesn't do it, it's going to say an error, which it does from time to time. But again, if we look at that from a human aspect, you ask the secretary to do something complex, either he or she is not going to know how to do it, or you may have to train them on how to do that, and that takes time, patience. But with GPT, you ask it a specific question and you tell it, give you specific answers, and it will just do it like that. So, but yeah, it's going to take jobs. Technology in itself is going to take jobs from everyday people. So it's going to happen. But it goes back to what I'm saying. You could either fix the robot or be replaced by the robot. Um, and I've it's not even really a data leak. They said ChatGPT had a data leak, but it's more of a bug. I believe with the paid users, what people were able to see is what other users were asking ChatGPT, which is not really a data leak. Is just I see that more of as a bug than anything else. Let's see what else. So yeah, this is not gonna be a long live, but let me see. I wanted to show you something else. But again, ChatGPT in itself, I believe it's some people say it's basically, if statements, but I don't see how it could be if statements. Some people say it's predicting what you're asking, but again, everybody has their opinion. I just believe like how they trained it. They trained ChatGPT very well. From the get-go, it understands certain things. It understands what you're asking it, and it understands what the specific output needs to be. Now, according to my resources, it cost them, I believe, $4 million to train ChatGPT, for it to understand certain things. So again, they trained it very well, and how how it does what it needs to do. Again, that's the question. I just feel like one of the main benefits of it is that they trained it really well, and they put in time to train it before anything else, before launching it. Now there are other AIs out there, learning models out there, but from what I was told, they it took them it cost them about $4 million to train it, and that's a lot of money. So again, given its ability to do certain things, I believe it's really worth it. But from a end user standpoint, it still needs work. It still needs to grow. That's why they allowed other people to kind of jump on and use it, and that's why Microsoft took a investment in the company. I believe they did. There's some kind of partnership there, so it's totally understandable. So let me see what else. What else I was gonna say. But again, we're now in the era of AI. It's here. What I say to anybody, I believe Jordan Peterson said this best. Creative people know how to make money, and ChatGPT is a nice tool for creative people. I believe there's a group out there that's using ChatGPT to make some extra cash. Hey, it's the tool is available. use it, learn it. For anybody who's in tech, just understand it, learn it, get used to it, because they're really pushing it, and it's now here. Um, let me see what else. But you do see that it costs a lot just to run it. The GPU servers are extremely expensive. But again, you're doing anything in an AI environment, you can't just put it on specific CPU servers. It has to be GPU servers. And let me see what else. With that being said, um, just give me a second. I think I wanted to talk about something else. So, but yeah, there's a lot of applications for AI. It's not just sitting there and asking it specific questions. There's a whole bunch of use cases. We're just seeing the very tip of it now. A lot of companies are jumping on the AI bandwagon, which is to be expected. They gotta make money somehow. So, it is what it is. But we're just seeing the very basic. We're gonna get to a point where, again, we have cloud technology, we have crypto, we have AI, we have so many other things that are coming down the pipeline. And right now, it's just technology in itself is just overlapping each other. Again, we're looking at a whole new digital infrastructure that's being built. And all I could say is either you could tap into it, learn it, get a better understanding on how it works. But one specific question that I ask myself whenever I see all these new technologies coming out is basically, where are the minorities in all of this? I'm not gonna get on a soapbox. It's just, I just see it. It's just, yes, we're there in the industry, but there's not enough of enough of us to make a difference. I mean, again, where I just feel like we're falling behind in a race. We have so many other things that are distracting us, but again, we need to have a dominant force in technology, because again, majority of this stuff can't work. If you look at Instagram, nobody knew what Instagram was. What, 2017? Nobody knew what it was. I was probably one of the first people on Instagram, and then, well, not really one of the first people, but I saw Instagram as it went through its transition. No one was on there. It was basically just fake accounts and everything else. But as soon as the celebrities jumped on, everybody jumped on Instagram, which is a pretty decent marketing move. But again, it's just, you want to understand technology, you got to be one of the first ones to use it. Um, AI is here. It's, you could either use it or get replaced by it. That's what I'm saying. We're eventually gonna see maybe within my lifetime. I don't know. We're eventually going to see somebody buy their first robot eventually, but again, we're nowhere there yet because our infrastructure in the US is just it's not where it should be. Um ChatGPT is somewhat aware, and I say somewhat. Some people will say it's getting there, but it's somewhat aware. When we talk about full full self-awareness AI, it's still the infrastructure in the US has a long way to go. We're not even there yet. Um it has some understanding. It can answer certain question, but give it, I say 9 out of 10 questions you ask it, it can't answer it correctly. So just use it, understand it, and just get used to it. But it can take jobs, but the jobs that it can't take, it's basically any physical job, like you're talking about mechanics, farmers, you know, your maintenance people. What else? Just anything physical where the human body has to interact with certain things. Chat GPT is not going to take those jobs, but jobs where you have to do research, things like that, yes, it's going to take those jobs. In like data scientists, you could ask chat gpt to do a research on two companies, and it's basically going to give you, you ask it to do research on two companies, but if you tell it what the specific output should be, it will definitely give you that detailed output. But again, with that being said, we're in the era of AI. You could use it, understand it, learn how to use it, but again, don't get replaced by it. And with that being said, I'm going to call it a night. And my name is Martin. I am the Enthusiast Cloud Inc. We are a cloud solution provider. We provide cloud solutions to small, medium sized businesses. We're also a green company because all of our solutions run in the cloud. There's no type of on-prem server. Um, if you're looking for consultation, my information will be in the show notes. If you're a small business looking for trying to get your cybersecurity insurance, I was able to get one of my clients their cybersecurity insurance with my solution. It's that you could definitely get your cybersecurity insurance. Um, and with that being said, have a good night. Oh, before I keep forgetting. Thank you to Live Nation for the merch. I will be getting in contact with you soon. So, and with that being said, have a good night.